Hello and welcome to episode 13 of War Hospital. In the last episode, we finally progressed to chapter 2, went ahead and sent our scouts out on their first missions, and also got the last major surgical improvement to our operating ward. We acquired another surgeon and are just waiting for a few more staff permits to get our last surgeon we're able to get. So let's go ahead and jump on back into things. So it looks like for rehab right now, we do have some people that are pretty close. Rations we look okay on for the moment. Now I get the notification their patients are waiting.
Successful.
For now, we definitely need to send people to the trenches because it says we have low combat power. So we'll go ahead
Sir,
and discharge, or sorry, send to the trench. There's another guy in there that looked like he needed to be discharged. All the people in here are good. Definitely I think the chemical ward might be the next ward that we need to go ahead and expand. And looking at that, we definitely have the freight for it. We're just lacking the drafts. Once we get up to strong again, I think actually before we go ahead and grab that chemical ward enhancement, I do want to grab the CCS expansion, which we can actually get now, and I'm going to go ahead and do that because that adds 10 beds, which will be very nice. Which means we won't get this casualty clearing station is over capacity message anymore. We have more people in the rehab center, and we'll send them to the front until we get to strong.
Sir, patient is cured.
We also notice we're out of drafts, that's okay. I feel like for chemical medical supplies we're okay for now, so I'll move those two over to the casualty clearing station, and that should help us complete that a bit faster.
Sir, doctor is starting a new shift.
Alright, scouts, looks like there's still a day from
doctor is starting a new shift.
Escape from Paradise. Lovestruck's nearly done. We do have an operation emergency and some new patients to look at in a minute. Sir, the patient has severe burns, but the body's already started to heal on its own as there are signs of viable living tissue. Chances of survival are much higher, which means less energy and less time, which is really good. We'll go ahead. The only new patient we had was chemical patient. Looks like all the rest of the doctors are good for now. Do have a couple of people that are awaiting burial. One of our engineers in the pharmacy is exhausted. That's fine. We don't really need a lot of chemical medical supplies anymore. At least for the moment.
Sir, operation was successful.
We can see that for the casualty clearing station, we look pretty okay for the moment. I think we've kind of gone through our big backlog of people. Ah, here we go. Worries about the daughter. When the scout team approaches the girl and her lover's camp, they hear shouting. They run to the camp to see the girl's father pointing a gun at the girl's lover, ready to shoot him on the spot. The commander lunges at the father's rifle, snatching it from his hands. Enraged, the girl's father shouts at the scouts, telling them this is none of their business. Then, seeing that shouting won't work, calms down and tells the scouts that they were lied to. The girl's lover is a German soldier and a coward as he deserted. The girl, scared, begs the scouts to let them leave. They don't want any trouble and just want to live peacefully. The commander's orders are to take deserters to HQ, but doing so will leave little chance for the girl's lover to see the light or any day. Let's see. This is a tough decision. We can either side with the daughter and let them go, or take the deserter prisoner, and I think unfortunately in this case we're gonna take the deserter prisoner. The scout commander looks at the girl's lover and points his gun at him. He asks the girl if what her father is saying is true. She declares that this does not matter to her as she loves him and he loves her and that's all that matters. The commander nods but tells the girl that they have orders. One of the scouts approaches the girl's lover and arrests him. The girl tries to plead with the commander, begging him to let them go, but he is unmoved. He responds by telling the girl that she can travel with them to HQ and take up her plea with them. The girl's father seems unsatisfied. The commander approaches him and with a dangerous glare in his eye demands the reward that was promised to them. There's a bit of hesitation from the girl's father, but then he gives in and tells the scouts that he will give them the supplies he promised, which means that it is, I believe, we only have one scout in this team, so it's just 20 rations, and we also now unlock that depot. So if you go to the scout tent now, actually, let's see, is the depot here? No, we do have an idle truck, but I don't see the depot here on the map. Alright, either way, we do have two, the monastery life and counter-espionage. A group of people are asking questions about the hospital and nearby front line, showing an unusual interest in both subjects. The scout team should be sent to investigate and find out if they are German spies. I agree with that, but we're going to do the monastery life first because the scouts are closer. So we'll go ahead.
There. Scouts unit
and
has
do
started
that.
a new mission.
You can also see that the rehab center is getting packed out. That's something we'll want to keep in mind.
Sir, operation was successful.
TCS looks good for now. Do have two awaiting. They'll be sent to the front, and we immediately have strong, which means we'll be taking the rest into drafts.
Sir, patient is cured.
These two are now rested, which means I'll stick another in pharmacy, another in food, help offset some of this food, basically usage. Oh, we have another tunnel request. After inspecting the terrain maps and the trench site, two possible points of entry for the tunnel have been found. The first is in the west. It is a safer option and will be much harder to detect by enemy, but will take more time. The second is in the east, will allow for much shorter tunnels, but it's more likely it will be detected. We're choosing the western. We're gonna go with the safer option. Which is fine, because I'd rather it be
Sir,
safer
new patient arrived.
and take more time than do it kind of, you know, in a half-asked way. We'll go ahead, put this guy up here. Go ahead and get him into surgery. Looks like someone is tired. We do have an exhausted medic team. We'll go ahead and swap them out.
Sir, medics are on the way.
And that will be that. No patients
Sir,
ready for
medics are on the way.
rehab yet, but there's a couple that are only like a couple minutes or a couple hours away. Yep. More drafts, please.
Sir,
Thank you.
patient is cured. Sir, engineers reached the engineering
And
depot.
we now have new patients. Alright. A terminal patient, which, I mean, we can go ahead and, I don't know why you would die here. No, you wouldn't. And we'll do good here. Trauma ward. Another one in trauma. You have a serious and a good. We'll have to set rest here. And we should be okay. Other than that, looks like we are gonna want to get some trauma medicine soon, because we're running a bit low. So actually, I'm gonna go ahead and order some now.
Sir, new patient arrived.
More new patients. Another one person who needs trauma treatment. And good. We'll go ahead and just slot him up here. Another person awaiting. We want to get them out. We'll send to HQ for some of the drafts we just spent, and we're good. Pharmacy. One of the engineers is tired. We do have 2 operation emergencies. First one. Sir, it seems that fortunately the bullet stopped on the bone without doing much damage. Shorter operation time, lesser chance of failure, which is good. And we have another one. High spirit, help with recovery, shorter rehab, morale rise, which is good.
Sir, we lost this patient.
Oh, unfortunately, we had a patient die during operation.
Sir, operation was successful.
And another operation emergency. Sir, the patient is now reacting to the basic anesthesia properly, which is not reacting to the basic anesthesia properly, which causes him great pain. We're gonna have to focus on the life-threatening wounds, longer rehab, but shorter operation. I don't want that difficulty going up anymore. Cannot operate because there's not enough medicine. That's probably the trauma medicine. Yeah, that's what that would be. Got another 6 hours until the engineer's done.
Sir, operation was successful.
Another 3.5 before scouts get back, and another operation emergency. The toxin did not have enough time to spread through the body yet, and poisoning was mild. Chances are higher. Excellent. I don't want to waste the 4 drafts we have yet. I'll wait until we get more.
Sir, engineers reached the
Speaking of more,
site.
there's another one.
Sir, operation was successful. Sir, we have received a dispatch concerning one of the patients who was recently brought to the casualty clearing station.
Alright, we'll take a look at those notes. And it's a trauma patient. Not great. So this is Alistair Young. Sir, I am to inform you there is a pressure coming from HQ in Britain to release from service Private Alistair Young due to his problems with shell shock and a general state of trauma, despite his best attempts to hide it. The British HQ is willing to provide a replacement squad of soldiers from Britain if we were to fill their request. Very well. Release from service. That's fine. Might also want to look into the production of trauma medicine, which I believe isn't until here. Stress relievers production. Yep, there it is. Another thing we can do is get condensers. Warehouse enhancement, more resources. That may be useful if at the end of every chapter we get filled up. Warming stoves, also useful. I mean, there's a lot of different stuff here that's all useful. Let's wait until complete our current improvement, and then we'll go from there and decide what we want to go ahead and do next. Couple people, one person ready for rehab. Send HQ.
Sir, patient is cured.
More drafts. Oh, we have a level up. Impulsive works slightly less effectively, tires slightly less. That's not great. We're gonna do ambitious now, which means they work significantly better, and hopefully that'll counteract what I just saw. Alright, the Friar Tuck. The scout team decided to stake out the main road that was probably used by the man. It's not long before the man with the card appears. The scout commander decides to reveal their presence. When they go out on the road, the man, clearly in confusion and panic, rushes to the nearest bushes and escapes, leaving the cart. Approaching the cart, the scouts find it is filled with alcohol, herbal medicine, and mead. Let's find the man. Search the area to find the man that left. The cart does not take long, as when the scouts approach the nearest bush with rifles in hand, he jumps out, asking them not to fire. He appears to be wearing robes, the kind used by friars. He falls to his knees and begs the scouts not to take the cart from him. When questioned, he explains his name is Tuck, and he is a friar in a monastery not far from here. He was tasked with delivering medicine and meat to nearby villages that need them. He explains he hides each time soldiers are near, as once he was robbed by them in the past and he doesn't want it to happen again. We're going to offer to escort the friar and help with the cart. The scout commander tells Friar Tuck that they are no muggers and they will not be taking his cart, then proposes to escort him to the village and help him deliver the supplies if he is so fearful of soldiers. The friar seems surprised. I forgot that there is still goodness in this world. He smiles and then accepts the scout's offer. He mentions that there are 3 villages he needs to deliver supplies to, and then he can return to his monastery. He offers to provide the scouts with some monastery-made mead as a token of gratitude. So we'll get 10 units of alcohol, we'll escort him, and we'll get more morale.
Scouts unit have started a new mission.
And that's going on for 18 hours now. We have another person in rehab, so we'll go back to HQ for more drafts.
Patient is cured.
Patient died during operation, that's unfortunate. Looks like we're nearly done with our improvement.
Sir, operation
And
was successful.
Operation Emergency. Psychological damage we'll have to do, ignore the muscle spasms because we don't have the tech for the operation yet. And now the improvement is done, which means the casualty clearing station has been upgraded. Excellent. Wound deterioration speed's down. Very good. We do have 6 staff permits too. With that, I'm gonna go ahead and hire the last surgeon we'll need, which means that we can have 5 different operating bays or rooms going at the same time, which is excellent. We do want to go ahead and pick up the next improvement. There's a couple different things in terms of production. We could look at stress relief production. We could also look at upgrading the chemical and trauma wards. I do want to do the chemical ward enhancement, but I want to do that next. The first thing I want to do is actually the stress relievers production. Ooh, but we'll do condensers first, and nope, we're gonna do it the other way around. Stress relievers first, in order to get this done, and then we'll go ahead and do the condensers to reduce the amount of resources next. Freight stocks are running low, but we have our cargo train coming with probably, I think, 700 resources? 680. We should be okay. We also have a personnel train coming at 9:13 is when our surgeon will be arriving. Alright. Do have a couple patients close to being fully rehabilitated, and we have an operation emergency. Sir, it seems our diagnosis of this case is very accurate. We could perform a more adjusted procedure instead of a normal one to ensure the operation will run smoother or save some supplies. We're gonna ease the doctor on this one.
Sir,
And we
new patient
do
arrived.
have a couple of new patients. Yeah, I definitely think getting the chemical ward over the trauma ward, although it would be nice to probably have both. And the stable patient will go here. The only reason I'm doing the pharmacy first is that ability to produce trauma medicine rather than us having to spend drafts on it, I really see as crucial more long term. I'll go ahead and move this guy over to HQ for more drafts, but I really see us being able to produce those stress relievers, as they call them, to be more crucial to our kind of long-term patient treatment, rather than go ahead and upgrade the ward, the ability to treat more patients, but we may not have the supplies for it. So that's what my thought process is. Now we'll do the operation. We don't have the electromagnet, so we're gonna do the longer operation here because we simply just have the bays. do have 2 more people awaiting, and they will both be sent to HQ.
Sir, patient is cured.
While we have that, I'll go ahead and order more trauma medicine supplies. I do think our 5th surgeon also just got here. Yep. Alain Bourbeau. So now we have all 5 surgical suites which can be operating at the same time. Very good.
Sir, operation was successful.
Nurse stress reliever production. We'll look for more improvements. Now we'll go ahead and go with condensers, which is engineering depot and pharmacy use 10% less resources each, which is great. That'll be done in just under 4 hours. Scouts are done. Nearest one in about 8 hours.
Sir,
Other one in
engineers reached the
11.
construction site.
Next thing I will want to go ahead and do. We have medics increased by 4, nurses by 4, engineers by 4. Rest time for units reduced by 10%. Don't quite have the time for that. Warehouse enhancement 1. Separate medical storage. I feel like the trucks. Surprised the truck that can be sent to depots. It said we unlocked a depot, but we haven't really gotten a chance to see that really. Doing the condensers. Fume hoods is another thing. Could do warm keeping stoves, decrease the amount of rations, then do steam cookers, and then we could go all the way to hot beverage dispensers. I'd also want to do whole grain red recipe, decreases impact of half rations, because I'd rather decrease the impact than the amount of resources used. Because for now at least we're okay on resources.
Sir, new patient arrived.
And we have more patients, so we'll go ahead and assign these two each to a new surgeon. And it feels like, I may jinx myself here, but it feels like for the moment we have a much better control of things now that we have a much greater deliverance of supplies coming our way. Another patient incoming.
Sir, new patient arrived.
Yep, we'll go ahead and put these two with new surgeons also. Should be able to save all those patients.
We lost this patient.
Although a patient dying during an operation, we can't help much. Condenser construction finished. We'll go to improvements. We don't have the drafts quite yet, so let's go check the rehab center. We do have 2 people waiting. They will both be sent to headquarters or
Sir,
get those
patient
drafts.
is cured.
Do only have
Sir,
4
doctor is
drafts.
starting a new shift.
Oh, we had more, looks like more injured from the front come in. Another chemical wound, we'll have to stick him at the back. While that's going on, I do have an assignment. I want 2 engineers producing chemical supplies, another 2 producing trauma supplies. Maybe useful to start thinking about getting some more engineers now for all the production that we have. Operation emergency.
The pharmacy.
We're gonna try to save some supplies here. The gas was diluted without major complications, so we'll decrease the supplies and shorter operation time.
Sir, new patient arrived.
Someone's tired. One of the medics is nearly exhausted. So go ahead and flip that over. Let those guys rest.
Sir, medics are on the way.
Yep, have to do that. Definitely thinking a chemical ward is what we want to do next.
Sir, operation was successful. Sir, We lost this patient.
There's no more freight space in the warehouse. Alright, we're actually gonna grab the warehouse improvement. And we're gonna pull the guy off food and the guy off chemical reagents to go ahead and up the warehouse so we can gather as much freight and food by now as we can. We have another operation emergency, but before I can get to that, we have scouts. Alright, tracking the enemy. Following the tire tracks, the scout team encounters some sort of German camp. Around 10 soldiers, 2 trucks, and a couple of tents. The commander knows they're probably only part of a convoy they have been tracking. They were not nearly enough soldiers or trucks to have left so many tracks. While observing the camp, it quickly became clear that they were left behind because of some sort of issue with the trucks. We are going to wait until they leave. Actually, we're going to infiltrate the camp under the cover of darkness. And we have an exhausted guy, so he's gonna go back there. And we have an operation emergency. Mental state is stable and could recover if given enough time away from combat with no need for additional medicine. We're gonna do the normal procedure just to decrease the difficulty here. And who's he treating right now? Not our VIP, but the guy before him.
Sir, operation was successful.
Excellent. And more trench stuff.
New patient arrived.
Digging the tunnel, the Zeppelin. If our calculations are correct, the tunnel is approaching the fallen Zeppelin. The engineers predict the tunnel should hold the additional weight if they use additional supports, but they cannot be sure. We could try digging around it just to be safe, but this will require additional workforce and food. We're gonna tunnel around it. Slightly better shape, increased chance of soldiers for freight and food. We're gonna tunnel around it. Yep, definitely think the other wards are what we need to look at next.
Sir, new patient arrived.
More new patients terminal. Let's go to the first doctor. Like so. Yep, definitely need to look at chemical. Can't even put him at the end. That's how much people we have in the chemical department. We've had a group of people walk in. We do have an operation emergency. It appears the medicine is contaminated. We're going to continue using this batch, increase the chance of it being unsuccessful, but I don't want to waste that many medical resources on it. Do you have one person awaiting? They'll be going for drafts.
Engineers reached the pharmacy.
We're gonna order resources. We're gonna order some more alcohol.
Sir, new patient arrived.
More patients awaiting assignment. One in the trauma ward. One surgical ward. Like so. Don't want to spend too much time gathering up more people. Yep, but I can't. I physically cannot fit anyone else. And I don't think you'll allow me to switch him over to the surgical ward. Nope, it doesn't look like it. So yeah, chemical doctor, expansion to the chemical ward is what we're gonna do next. I'm aware we're out of alcohol to produce more supplies, which means that these guys are not useful anymore, at least in the spots they're in. We'll do food, and we'll actually stick this guy into the warehouse, and that'll be done in about 4 hours. But I think that's it for this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Leave a comment down below with what you liked. If you disliked the video, hit the dislike button and leave a comment down below with what you disliked. I'm always looking to improve. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and bye bye.